Tons of players are making a massive mistake with this system, and I want to make sure that you guys fully understand it. It's combining modules and or disassembling modules. What modules should you be getting rid of, and what modules should you actually be fusing? And so we're going to dissect this and get a little bit more in depth so that you guys fully understand how the system works, so you won't need me anymore, right? Now, first things first, we're going to actually take a look here, and we're going to just go look at our Descendant modules, for example, right? Now, there's something that you can actually do. You can see all modules that you have. You have a capacity of 1,000 modules that you can hold at any given time. Now, I have my modules currently sorted by quantity. And the reason why I'm doing that is so that you guys can see firsthand that you are going to have modules stacking on top of each other. Now, the beauty of certain modules, if you're using modules, say for your Descendants, they're interchanging. So a module that you invest in, technically, like for example, these increased defense, HP shield, shock punch, I can slap that onto another Descendant and I'm good to go, right? Because you can only play one character at a time. But again, when you're looking at other, Descendant variations in the build and what might be required for what they scale off of, you're going to have some modules that you're obviously not going to be using on others, but there's some of those general ones that you'll be able to put across the board, right? But the main thing about this game, and the reason why we get extra modules, is again for the opportunity to disassemble for Cooper and or the opportunity to fuse for more modules. Now, I'll show you these two systems, right? Because I wanted to just kind of explain that so you can know that you have modules. There's probably some people that haven't even touched this yet, and you're probably already in hard mode and didn't even realize that you had all these modules stacked on top of itself, and you're trying to now figure out if you should sell them or if you should combine them. What's the most efficient thing to do, right? So let's go ahead and let's talk to Sileon, right? Now, this is going to be our NPC, the Module Master. And again, enhance module, dismantle modules, and combine modules. We already know that enhancing modules is going to power up your modules and make them stronger. You spend Cooper, Ire, if I'm not mistaken, and gold. So that is very straightforward. But dismantling mods, I want to start off first with, I would say, combining mods, right? So we'll get into the dismantling in a second, but combining mods. Now, the thing about this is that if you are looking at your, say, normal mods, it is going to take 4 modules to combine into one. Now, the thing that you want to actually understand is that combining mods gives you a chance to fuse a rarity higher or fuse a Transcendence, for example, right? So you can get an ultimate or you can get a Transcendence, and that is massive, right? Now, even for the normals, it is a very small, but it's a chance for you to be able to get higher rarity mods from fusing these. And yes, that is including Transcendences. Now, the thing that could be argued here, which I would say, we'll come back to that in a second, but what I would say is basically that these are still going to be worthwhile for you to utilize for Cooper. Right now, when you're looking at things such as your rare mods, these are going to definitely be worthwhile fusing. You would not want to, in my opinion, I would not advise you to fuse or to dismantle these for Cooper because you have a chance to get a higher rarity mod. Now, if you're that guy that has every mod in the game, then hey, go ahead and sell them for some Cooper, right? But I feel like that's going to be something that will happen once you get to that point. And even then, as new mods come out, it might be accessible to where you might be able to fuse for the newest mod that comes out and not actually have to farm it, right? Again, farming still advised, but this is just another extra thing that you can do in conjunction that will help you with that process. Now, for example, let's take anything that we have crazy amounts of dupes of. Let's say this concentrating ammo, right? So we're going to fuse these, see if we get anything. And then we have the weapon tuning. Now, the thing to understand is that this can either do two things. It will never fuse, if I'm not mistaken, lower. It will either fuse as the same rarity or go higher, right? So just kind of keeping that in the back of your head. So let's go ahead and let's combine this real quick. All right. And you see, I got a magazine compulsive, which is actually kind of funny because that's just the irony of that. Now, again, you can do this process also for your gold modules. So let's see if I have any gold dupes, right? So we have a overwhelming defense dupe. We have a brisk walk dupe. And let's see if we have any others. I don't know if I do. I might. We'll know in a second. I might not. Maybe. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. All right, so we are going to, let me see, because I'll just go and farm these. I'm doing this for you guys, by the way. No, don't do this at home, guys. Don't do this at home. But we have our brisk walk, lethal fighter. There's certain ones, accuracy minus 20%. Okay, so what we'll do here, we have an overwhelming HP. I'm probably not going to use that right now. That is for max shield. Resets. Let's see. Maybe quit out random. Okay, so yeah, we'll do this one because I just want to show you guys, right? And Snowflake Conductor, right? So we'll just do this. This is for video sake, so that you guys can see it, right? Again, if we combine this, right? 12K. All right, let's see what we get. All right, it gave me Unstoppable Smasher. Now, obviously, I didn't have this, so when defeating an enemy, shell capacity plus 30% for 5 seconds at a 8% chance, right? Now, the thing is that you can get an entirely new mod. Like, again, like I told you guys, I do not have and never have had that mod. The other thing that's actually pretty cool, too, here is that you can actually fuse transcendences. Now, the cool thing about this and what I would say is that if there are like obviously ones like for units that you plan on using, hold on to them. I would say holding on to all transcendences, right? But I know that there's going to be those individuals that's like, yo, I'm never touching that unit. You can realistically, right? For example, I know I'm probably not going to be trying to go for Ultimate Bunny anytime soon. And I actually know the dungeon I could just farm her to get that. Again, this is for video. This is insane. Do not do this at home. We're going to do Jabers. We're going to hold on to Freyna, Sharon. I'm not really messing around. Kyle. I think that these, we'll just refarm. It's okay. All right. So you'll see that this is going to give us an opportunity to also combine. Again, this is just showing you at every rarity, dude. I'm probably insane to be doing this, but this is to show you. Ooh, actually, that ends up kind of working out for me. So it modifies the orbit barrier and hypercube barrier to only be affected by the caster's HP. Ironically, I think that specific mod is for Ultimate Ajax. So there's that. That's actually a character I'm probably going to end up farming anyway at some point. So I guess that kind of worked out, guys. Shit, you got to subscribe for that. I don't know, like that I would never tell anyone to do. So that's not a part of the video to do, but it's just to give you the perspective that as you're grinding things, this is something that you can do with the resources. It's going to give or spit back out something. And keep in mind, guys, that as you're fusing like those ultimate ones that you have extras of, as you're fusing the ones that you have for the rares that are extra, it is a chance you can get an ultimate. It's a chance you can get a transcendence. So this is going to allow you to maybe even potentially cut out some farming that you might have had to do for certain mod drops that you didn't have access to before. So just kind of keeping that in mind, guys. Again, if I had to be the sacrifice here to show you it, I'm more than happy to be that. So hopefully you got that lesson. Now, the next thing, okay, is dismantling modules. So what does that leave left? It leaves all your rare dupes, your normal dupes that you are not utilizing. I would argue that right now, the only things that you should be getting rid of for extra Cooper is going to be your normals, right? Now, the thing is that if we go here, we can just press and hold the L button. And you'll see we have 36. I haven't farmed anything. Normally, when I do like a full send farm, probably farming for like an hour or two, I have somewhere around like, 200K, like around there roughly of extra mods, right? Just to sell. And so I would sell those mods. Now, the thing that I have set up here is that when I am selling, it will select duplicates. Now, you can change this to only be rares, to only be normals and not do any of your rares or your ultimates. I would definitely suggest not to fuse or sell any of your purples or your oranges, right? Or your yellows, right? Keep those because it is more beneficial to you to fuse those so you can get more or newer modules that you don't have. And then later on, once you have like your access info filled with a ton of those modules, then it might be a little bit better for you to start getting rid of some. But I would even argue then you still have those transcendences, which are a little bit harder to get, and you never know, you might get lucky, right? So this is a huge asset because again, these all have like guaranteed drop rate places or drop places that you can get them, but you can actually sit here and do this and maybe potentially get something that makes it to where, like I said, you don't have to farm, right? So that's, again, another thing that could potentially save you time. And if you're doing this over the entirety of your account, you could very well be seeing some value, okay? So that's that, guys. I'm not going to draw this video out any longer. I just wanted you guys to see firsthand, how does the system work? How can you take advantage of it? And how can you utilize it properly? So again, happy hunting. Hope you guys get a lot of farming done, get a lot of progression done. But that's going to be that. Everyone stay blessed, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.